Hello and welcome. Today we are inside of a 2020 Buick Encore GX. This is an ST trim. Alrighty, so this is a small SUV. It might even be a compact SUV. It is powered by a 1.2 liter turbocharged 3-cylinder inline engine. This produces 137 horsepower along with 180-ish pound-feet of torque. So in this black color with some nice red accents due to it being the ST trim, this is an all-wheel drive version. I would like to thank Paul Massey, Buick GMC South in South Kingstown, Rhode Island for allowing me to review this vehicle. Their link is down in the description below. Alright, so the front looks of this vehicle, it looks pretty good. The previous Encores, as you can see right about there, those are some pre-owned ones. This is definitely an upgrade. It looks a lot more premium. They made the car a bit larger, as you can see, and it has some pretty nice body proportions, in my opinion. Looks very sharp. So, this rides on some 18-inch alloy wheels on top of 225 wide tires. They look pretty good. They have this chrome aluminum alloy, and then they also have these plastic inserts of a deeper gray, which in my opinion, they look pretty good. This car does have blind spot monitoring in each of the mirrors, so that's always good to have. This does have an easy fill fuel cap, so you don't have to take a cap off every time you fill the fuel. Alright, so in the rear here, they made the Encore look a lot more aggressive with the new generation of it. As you can see over there in the pre-owned ones, they look pretty tiny and pretty, you know, they really don't look aggressive in any way, but this looks pretty luxurious now. It has some nice fake vents in the back, and it does have a rear diffuser-ish. It's a piece of plastic, but it looks pretty good. So this is the all-wheel drive model, and it is the ST trim. You do get both front and rear LED headlights and tail lights in this car. For the side profile, it looks pretty sleek. It doesn't look like Joey Bean styling, in my opinion, like it did in the prior generation, in the first generation of the Encore. I think it looks great overall. And in the front, you also do get some daytime running lights right there, and some LED fog lights. So on the interior of this Encore GX, in the front, it is pretty comfortable in here. It's pretty luxurious feeling. It has some nice perforated leather, so that means it has holes punched in here. This does have heated front seats in here with full power passenger and driver seats. You do get dual zone climate control in here. You also get an auto function. And overall, it's a pretty nice laid out control center right there. You do get 2 blank buttons here, so you can tell either you aren't in the highest trim or maybe they just left them blank here, but overall it looks pretty simple but upscale in here. It does have a parking sensor button. There is a wireless charging pad in here for your phone. You do get a traditional shifter with the gear selection option is going to be right on the side of that. You don't get any drive modes in here, which is a bit of a surprise. There's no sport mode, there's just you know, the normal ones, and then there's a low mode. One very nice feature I like in here is right here, as you can see, this button here. Auto stop start, turn it off. I cannot stand auto stop start because most wear on an engine occurs on startup, so I don't understand why anyone would want to save a tiny bit of fuel to, you know, cut the life of their engine and the durability. It's just one of my strong opinions. Alright, so the fit and finish in here, it is pretty good overall. It is a bit, some hard plastics up here, and the whole dash is hard plastic, but it has some nice stitching inserts right there. However, here, which is definitely going to be a touch surface, all of this is just solid hard plastic. I wish Buick had done a little bit better job here. They put in some nice looking fake stitching, so that helps out. You do get a head-up display in here, as you can possibly see that little assembly right there. And you do get a hard button to adjust that, which is awesome, instead of having to dig through many menus to access that. The steering wheel in here, it feels pretty premium. It is leather wrapped with really some nice grade leather. It has a nice little chrome trim here, and it has a heated steering wheel, as well as you can turn on the forward collision system, on or off there. And you have your normal cruise control, your speech input, and a nice keypad right here. For the gauge cluster right here, it is a mostly analog gauge. but it does have a center screen right here, so you can get a digital speedo right there, some information. Use your audio, navigation, phone, or anything else. This does have GM's OnStar, which is a hotspot for Wi-Fi, which is also common in most of their vehicles. This Encore does have something also familiar to GM owners. This is a camera rear mirror. So this rear view mirror, you can turn this on and off. You can make it a traditional mirror like that, or you can leave it like this, and it's a high frame rate, high quality camera that you can view. It'll help with visibility, and instead of having, like, for example, the sun just destroying your eyes and blinding you in the evening, you can drive with that. It's a very cool feature. The infotainment screen in here is pretty large. I think it's probably around 7 or 8 inches, and it's typical of all GMC, Chevy, Buick. It's a pretty responsive screen, very simple to manage. You do get a backup camera in here, and you get a lot of camera views. Look at this. So you can do all of this stuff. You can have, like, not a trailer view, but you can have that. You can have that, your side view. You can turn on or off your assist lines, and you get a 360 camera, and it is very, very good quality. There are about 35,000 miles on this particular car, and it's been averaging about 29 miles per gallon per the trip reader. You do get a power lift gate in here, so you can control that right here, so you can make it open all the way, 3/4 or off, and you can control that from the inside, of course. For the center console here, you get first a small first tier, and then below that you get a moderate sized deeper storage bin right there. It's adequate. For the glove box over here, it is damped, and it's a little cheap feeling. It's just a piece of plastic. The trim is not really well hidden over here, but it has a good amount of space. It's pretty good to use. You do get this interesting choice of interior trim that runs through in front of the passenger dashboard. It is, I don't know what it looks like. It's not carbon fiber, but it looks like a mesh wiring type of trim. It is just a plastic piece, but it's an interesting graphic, and I think it adds some flair to this. You do get a panoramic sunroof in here, so as you can see, that is 2 levels of a sunroof. The first one will open, and the second one stays closed, but you can slide the screen across it, so you can let a natural light to the front and the back passengers. Let's check out the back seat. Alright, so sitting here in the back, I am 6 feet tall with pretty long legs. I have lots of headroom above me left. My knees do just barely bump into the driver's seat where I have it positioned, but footroom is pretty good. It's a pretty wide area, actually, a deep footwell. You do get a 9-volt port back here, along with a USB Type-A and Type-C charging port. Unfortunately, there are no climate vents back here or controls for those for the rear passengers. You do get some nice little storage bins here. They're very simple doors, but they get the job done. Nothing special, but they're good. For the center armrest here, you get a nice 2-cup holder setup and a nice little armrest. Visibility is pretty good out of this car from the front, back, and even in the rear. Although there are no third windows back here, it is still pretty easy to see out of, and the camera rear mirror definitely helps with that. Let's check out the cargo area. Alright, so you do get a nice privacy shade in here if you choose to use that. And otherwise, it's pretty good storage capacity in here. You have a nice couple of deep wells for storage right there. And let's see about under here. So under here, you do get, that looks like a full-size, no, that's a donut spare tire, but it's still a good feature. Many cars are doing away with those. You do get power close rear tailgate, of course. Alright, so this 2020 Buick Encore GX stickers for about $29,000, and that is with 35,000 miles. I have not driven this car, but it is mated with a CVT and of course that inline 3-cylinder turbocharged engine. That is a very interesting setup. I do not personally know how it's going to hold up long term, because a 3-cylinder engine is certainly uncommon, but luckily it is just a GM vehicle, so many people will understand how to work on this down the line if there happen to be any problems. Overall, it feels pretty upscale in here, but just some of the trim really doesn't feel as premium as it probably should. Buick is similar to GM's luxury line of vehicles. It's not a Cadillac, but it gets close in certain aspects of it. Yeah, overall, I like this vehicle. I certainly like some of the features, but it just doesn't feel ultra premium to me. Alrighty, that'll just about wrap up this review. Thank you for watching, and take care.